This week, we're going to look at 5 of my favorite mindset books. So, one every day. But first, I just want to clarify that the books I've chosen are specifically on mindset rather than mental performance. So, these ones won't be those that, include the actionable game day strategies like routines or visualization techniques, that kind of thing. Because I've mentioned before that mindset is just one critical piece of mental performance training. And it's the one piece for which this podcast was designed. So these are 5 books that changed my mindset, the way I think about my own thinking. So the first book I chose is actually one of the first I ever read way back when I had started working on my own mental game. It's very well known, and you might recognize the title, The Inner Game of Tennis. It's an oldie but goodie. It was written in 1974 by a tennis coach named Tim Gallwey. Now, Gallwey noticed something in the court that had nothing to do with tennis. He noticed that his students were talking to themselves out loud sometimes. And that realization led him to the discovery of what he calls self one and self two. Self one is the critic, the narrator, the judge. It's the one who always needs to be talking. Keep that elbow up. Don't blow this. Oh, that was a horrible shot. This one probably sounds familiar. We've talked about it a lot. It's our inner critic. Then there is self two, who is the doer. Self two is our subconscious, our muscle memory, our intuition. It's the self that knows what to do and can do it if left on its own. It holds all of our capability and potential. And here's the whole problem broken down into one sentence. Self one does not trust self two. So it gets in the way constantly. The very first thing Gallwey asked his students to do was not to swing differently. He just wanted them to listen to the narration, to actually hear what self one was saying. Now, most of them had never done that. So that is the awareness piece we're always talking about on this podcast. For many of us, myself included, self one has been running the commentary for years, and we've never thought to pay attention to it. The other critical mindset shift that Gallwey makes in this book is the release of judgment. So the problem was almost never the mistake. It was the label that self one gives the mistake. So the ball goes out of bounds. That's just information. It's neutral. But our self one won't leave it there. Self one says, that was a bad shot. Then a few minutes later, oh, I'm a bad player. And then it's I always do this. So what started with one piece of just neutral data becomes a verdict about who we are. And most of us never even catch it happening. So as his students stopped labeling and just observed what happened without deciding whether it was good or bad. So no praise and no criticism. He found their tennis got better. And this is without one word of technical instruction. So for us, that shot we missed is just data. The play we fumbled is just data. The answer that we got wrong is just data. The label or judgment is something that our self one or our conscious mind just added on. So for today, let's just start to listen and notice the narration. Notice how fast self one wants to pass judgment and label it. Now, just noticing isn't going to fix it, but as we've said time and again, awareness is the first step. Awareness will set the stage for us to become the kind of person who hears our own thoughts instead of just believing them automatically. So that's exactly why our power statement is so fitting this week. I think about what I am thinking about. Very simple and to the point. And tomorrow we're going to actually go from one of the earliest books I've ever read to one of the most current books I've read. So we will see you back then.